Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope everyone had awesome weekends. Wait a minute or so. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Got a fun workout planned. Probably disappointed not to see the puppy on screen right now, but we will bring her on at the end. She's playing in the other room with my husband. So like her first Cadence cameo. All right, so since we have a pretty full class today, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Looking at my watch, we're gonna just use the next couple minutes as a warm-up, whatever type of warm-up you need to do for your body. If you wanna jump on a foam roller, need to do some dynamic stretching, maybe some leg swings. So if you're balancing like I am, make sure you're keeping that foot in the ground, rooted. Maybe practice kind of spreading those toes, putting that big toe into the ground, bracing through the glute. Swing a little side to side. And we're going to switch legs again. Grounded leg is strong. Glute is firing. Core is strong. Abdominal muscles in. Zipping up. Breathing through this warm-up. Long inhale through the nose. Long exhale out the mouth. Switch and go forward, backward with those leg swings. And as we're swinging back, especially making sure not to arch the back, just keeping strong in that core, strong in the glute that's on the ground. Just swinging, doesn't have to be a dramatic motion, just getting those hips loosened up. So are some of my favorite dynamic stretches, especially if you're just eager to jump onto the treadmill, just to get some movement going in those hips before you just start off running. Again, if you're already, I just switched legs by the way. If you already are warmed up and you just want to do an easy jog, keep it to a 2 out of 10 rate of perceived exertion. And then we'll get ready to go into this workout pretty soon. All right. You guys know me well enough by now. I tend to kind of rush the warm up a little bit in favor of a longer class time. So again, if you showed up right at the start of the class, you're not warmed up, please take part of this first interval to feel as warmed up as you need to before you jump in. We've got some long intervals ahead of us. We have 4 8-minute ones. We're gonna do a 3-minute pickup within each of these intervals and then 2 minutes recovery. So this is a progression from last week's, the 10-minute intervals we did with 3-minute pickups. And it might not look like much of a progression because the intervals are actually shorter. They're 8 versus 10 minutes, but we are going, instead of that steady state we did last week at the 10-minute intervals, we're gonna do a 6 out of 10 perceived exertion for the whole 8 minutes and then pick it up to an 8 out of 10. So a little more challenging. Hey Eric, good morning. Faster than conversational pace. We're gonna get started soon, all right? So I'm gonna cue up my watch. All right, so take whatever time you need to ease into this if you're just now jumping on the treadmill, but for those of you who are nice and warmed up, we're gonna go to that 6 out of 10 rate of perceived exertion, somewhere around half marathon race pace, maybe a little quicker, faster than conversational, not so fast you couldn't huff and puff out a few sentences if we were talking or if I did ask something of you. But let's get ready and go there in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Again, just like we did in that warm-up, let's focus on that breath. Again, maybe using the breath as your gauge for perceived exertion. So the breath is going to get labored. It's going to be a little tricky. You guys who are wearing my zone belts, you're probably going to get into that yellow zone, totally fine, but it's still fluid, okay? Fluid is going to be a key word we kind of keep going back to this class, all right? So what can you do? Hi. There's our little puppy cameo. That's Pace. Pace, the new puppy, going out to pee. All right, so what can you do this class to make everything feel more fluid. All right, so as we exert more, our lungs start to tighten, our heart starts to race. Start to recognize where in your body you start to accumulate tension. Your shoulders start to come up to your ears. Do you start to grip your fists? Do you start to clench your teeth? Relax all that. All right, fluid. So letting go of that tension, feeling it dissolving away. Nice job. So really with this 6 out of 10 perceived exertion, guys, we're practicing relaxing into it, accepting that it's faster than conversational pace, but also understanding it's very endurable, endurably difficult. That's the key word we're going for. So find whatever feels endurably difficult and then commit to enduring, right? So good. So what can you do to settle in? Let those shoulders relax. Let's focus from the get-go, from that cadence. So thinking, how quick can I get from my left foot to my right foot? That pop, 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 up and over motion. Also fluid, right? The feet are almost swimming as if you were running on water. You wouldn't want your feet to sink. So the second that one foot hits the ground, we got to go up and over, visualizing that turnover. If you've ever seen those birds that run on water, their feet almost look like they're going in circles. So maybe visualize some of that fluidity in your legs. So good, you guys. Amazing job. Couple minutes in, relax into it. All right. So as much of a mental workout as it is physical today, just like we talked about last week, different things are going to come up that we're going to need to battle. It's going to be fatigue. We're going to have to battle maybe a little boredom. As much as I try to keep you entertained, running for 8 minutes straight 4 times, you might have the thoughts creep in. Oh, I want to switch this workout up. I want to add in some 1 minute on, 1 minute off repeats to break it up for myself. But I'm asking you, please know, please commit to the workout ahead of us. Absolutely, if you're not in condition right now to run at a 6 out of 10 for 8 minutes straight, take the breaks that you need to, and then just meet us back to where we're at. But for most of you I'm looking at here, you're totally fine to do it. So just commit to the effort prescribed and commit to the interval prescribed. Don't add any pickups other than the ones I throw at you. All right, so in practice there, let's practice that fluidity too. When we come across some boredom or we come across some anxiety, whatever starts to creep in, daydreaming, totally okay when you're running, right? We daydream all the time. It's almost like our own internal podcast. But watch if those daydreams start to go too much toward your to-do list for the day, or, oh, I'm anxious because I forgot to do this yesterday. So let's keep it positive, all right? So we're coming up to 4 minutes down, 20 seconds short of that, and we're gonna add our first 3-minute pickup, all right? So in 15 seconds, we're gonna pick it up to an 8 out of 10 perceived exertion, all right? That 5K race pace. Let's get ready and go there in 4, 3, 2, 1, pick it up. 3 minutes here. So 8 out of 10 perceived exertion, whereas at a 6 out of 10, maybe it was faster than conversational pace, but not so fast you couldn't huff and puff out a sentence or two. This is so fast that you would maybe huff and puff out a word or two, okay? So find that level. Definitely into the my zone, red zone. Commit to going there, commit to relaxing into it. And what can we do to transition some of that same fluidity from our 6 out of 10 perceived exertion to this 8 out of 10? What can you let go of in order to make space for this quicker pace? All right, so settle in, back to those fast feet, that bird on water, running leg turnover, pop, 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 pop. Don't let yourself sink. You're light, you're fluid, incredible. Just a couple minutes more here, you guys. So let's use this now as an opportunity to quickly scan our body. Feet are fast. Maybe give that big toe a reminder just to put it on the ground. Make sure you're not over tensing the toes. Scanning up through the calves, reminding those feet and legs and everything just to turn over. Grateful for our bodies, grateful for our legs. Engineered to do this relatively effortlessly. As we get into the glutes, maybe give those a little microscopic squeeze, just enough to get that spine back to neutral. If you find yourself collapsing forward from the fatigue, like to imagine you're holding a $100 bill between your butt cheeks. So it's just a piece of paper. You don't have to over clench, but enough to get them engaged. If you let go, then grow long through that lumbar spine and strong in the core, your internal base brace for your spine. Now open in the lungs, guys. Open across the heart, right? Watch those shoulders. Make sure as you fatigue, your shoulders aren't collapsing inwards. We're constantly asking ourselves, where can we create space so that the breath can be more fluid, so that the blood can flow like the fluid it is. So fluid. Nice job, you guys. So good. We've got one more minute at this 8 out of 10, and then we're dropping it back for a final minute back to that pace you were before you picked it up, all right? So let's use that as our gauge, right? We're not picking it up to a 9, 10 out of 10 just because I said only one more minute, because we're still dropping back to a relatively intense effort. We're not going straight into our recovery, all right? So that's your kind of restriction. That's what keeps you from going, oh, only one more minute left, I'm gonna sprint it. No, not that type of workout. Come out Wednesday, we'll get more into the super fast VO2 max style workouts, all right? So nice job. 20 more seconds, and we are dropping it back to a 6 out of 10, which might not feel like a 6 out of 10 right away. It might take that whole next minute to actually go back to feeling 6 out of 10 versus 8 out of 10, but accept that your body will settle back in to that easier effort by dropping the pace back to where it was in 3, 2, 1. Drop it back, not recovering yet, just back to that speed you were at before the pickup. Settle back in. Maybe you recognize that next breath is just slightly easier based on dropping that pace. Totally great, guys. You guys are doing incredible. So maybe feel the lungs open up a little bit more. All right, so holding strong. We've got just 30 seconds. Strong is the key word, strong and fluid. All these words at you might serve you, they might not, but please take what resonates with you for your toolbox, your little mantra box. Let it serve you to the best that it can. We've got just 10 seconds here. Strong, fluid, relaxed, flow through to the end of the interval. 3, 2, 1, recover. 2 minutes recovery, guys. Awesome job. Interval number 1 is done. Yay. Amazing job. All right. So again, we know what those intervals look like now. Nothing's changing. Might change where exactly the 3-minute pickup comes within the interval, but that's what you're doing. Just 3 more times this class, and then you're done, all right? So take some peace of mind from that. And also recognize what happened during that first interval. Where did you start to feel bored? Where did you start to feel anxious? Where did you start to feel fatigue? So going into this next interval, as you come across those mental, physical sensations, I want you to practice what to do with your mind and body to flow through those, all right? So I'm gonna read you a quote from Lauren Isley about water. She says, if there's magic on this planet, it is contained in water, which how awesome then if water is magic and we're 90% water, right? So let's think about that. So much of us, yes, we have our bones, our muscles, everything else, but so much of us is just water. So I want you guys to think about that when I'm asking you to flow. Okay, so what do we have to do to access that fluidity within us, which is 90% of us? So visualize yourself as water. Visualize that life source within you, your blood that's made up of water, flowing throughout you effortlessly, even when it doesn't feel effortlessly, right? You know that even if your heart's working hard, your lungs are pumping hard, that blood, that water is flowing because you are an incredible machine, a magical machine, if we're going through the quote, going by the quote, that makes it such that you can flow at these high intensities. How incredible is that? All right, so let's get ready to flow like water, like magic, back to that 6 out of 10 in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Interval number 2. Let's find that half marathon race pace, maybe a little bit quicker. Going into that yellow zone on your MyZone belt if you're wearing one. Nice long inhale through the nose. Relax. You guys got this. So visualizing that life force flowing in you, that water, that blood, that oxygen circulating through your heart and lungs, becoming filled with more oxygen even as you work hard. Say hi, Pace. You can bring her up to the camera. Pace says, good job. Amazing job, guys. So flow, incredible. So when we're talking about this flow, we're not talking about taking it easy, right? We're still looking for that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion. We're just accepting that effort we feel, those tightening lungs, that shortening breath, that fast heart rate is natural, and that in spite of those things, our body is moving fluidly regardless of them, all right? In spite of those things, our body is moving fluidly. We've got this. So good. And the same goes for those legs. Again, that running on water motion. We start talking about this enough. Sometimes even a word like water might become your mantra, even if that doesn't make sense to someone who hasn't taken the class or hasn't thought about water to the extent you have. If that's a word that you can take and put in your toolbox that works for you, so that 9 weeks from now, even a little less than 9 weeks, when we get into our Brooksy virtual 5K, 10Ks, half marathons, and we don't know what circumstances are coming that day. We don't know if it's going to be a hot day, a great day, whatever, but we know that we're going to go pretty all out for these races. So we can maybe call upon these words, soft, fluid, water, flow, to get us through some of those more intense bouts. So good, guys. 2 minutes down already. All right. So we're going for quote number 2 here from Lao Tzu. Water is fluid, soft, and yielding, but water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. As a rule, whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. This is another paradox. What is soft is strong. What is soft is strong. So thinking about that, guys, right? Where do we come across rigidity while we're running? Mentally, that boredom, that anxiety, those, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. Why did I show up this morning? I'm going to go do my own run. I'm going to switch this up and do my own intervals, whatever sort of rigidity there, stubbornness, boredom, yield to it, flow through it, soften into it, soften into whatever mental rigidity you come up against. And same with physical, right? Our legs are going to start to fatigue as we do more of these intervals. Our lungs are going to start to fatigue a little more, but soften into it. Trust your body. Our heart, our lungs, everything is so strong, all right? So don't let the mind tell the heart, the lungs, the legs that they can't do this. They absolutely can do this. They were engineered to do this. You guys have got this. So flow, yield, soften, whatever words from these quotes work for you, relax into this. Again, you're strong in that core. We're not collapsing when we soften, but we're soft and we're strong. Soft in the mind, soft in the face. A relaxed face is a relaxed body. So flow through there. Amazing job, guys. Now let's pick it up to that 8 out of 10 perceived exertion in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Pick it up. 3 minutes here. 8 out of 10. No faster. Going to that 5K race pace. Feeling that breath quicken. Seeing and maybe watching, if you're wearing a monitor, watching that heart rate go up into that red zone and flowing into it. Softening into it, right? We're strong where we need to be. Strong in the glutes. Strong in the core. But everywhere else, we are open and soft. Amazing job, you guys. So good. Yield to the faster pace. Look to create space as you come up against a rock, a mental rock, whether it's that boredom or it's a thought of, oh, this is hard. I can't. I want to slow down. I want to stop. Imagine yourself the 90% water, that magical fluid within you flowing through, softening into, and then flowing beyond that rock. Incredible work, you guys. So good. We are so close to done with this next interval. You've already picked up the pace. You don't have to go any faster than this. All you have to do is settle in. Amazing job. Fluid, strong, soft, yielding. You are water. Be water. Incredible. Nice work, guys. Maybe even letting your breath sound a little bit like water, like rushing water, right? We're at a higher intensity. The breath might be quicker, but just like water, it is still flowing. So maybe there's some turbulence to the breath. That's okay. Maybe imagine sending that breath out from a deeper space, right? More of like a gushing exhale. So creating that deeper exhale, maybe visualize the breath where that exhale would have to come from, right? Rather than letting it get trapped shallow in my chest like I'm hyperventilating, like send that breath deeper. Exhaling out from my pelvic floor so that all the oxygen had to go in there to create that exhale in the first place. So good, you guys. We've got just 45 more seconds here, and then we've got 1 more minute before our recovery. So all you need to do is soften into this pace right here for 35 more seconds now. And again, we're dropping it back to that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion, continuing to relax into the interval, and then recovering again. And then we will be halfway through class already, you guys. This is going by quick. You know, you're probably like, yeah, Maria, it's going by quick for you. You're standing there talking about water. But I think it's probably going by quick for you guys too. 10 more seconds, and we're going back to that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion, right? So not recovering yet, just backing it off a little in 3, 2, 1. Back it off. 1 minute at that 6 out of 10. So flow, right? As you back it off a little more, you're yielding a little more. When you yield that pace, opening up some space within you, right? So let that 6 out of 10 feel even more comfortable, right? You guys who have signed up for the Brooksy Half Marathon, this is kind of that effort you're going for through that whole race. So maybe think about how these pickups felt compared to the effort that we're prescribing for that race day effort, right? And remind yourself of those pickups, even if you're not necessarily throwing in a pickup during the half marathon, although you could, probably not a 3-minute one, but you could throw in a shorter one to remind yourself of that harder effort compared to the hard but easier effort that you have forth in front of you, and relax into it. Just 10 more seconds, guys, and we're going to recover. So full recovery. 4, 3, 2, 1. Recover. 2 minutes. Get some water, right? Whatever you need to do in this recovery, guys. Walk it out. Hydrate, wipe your brow, and then once you've done everything physically you need to do to recover, let's work on reframing that mind, right? So our 5 R's from Alex Hutchinson's Resume: recognize, refuse, relax, reframe, resume. That's those 5 R's, that mantra as we get into this later part of class, and we might come up against some of those more rigid thoughts we were visualizing as rocks. So using those 5 R's to soften into recognize the negative thought, relax in spite of the negative thought, reframe the mind. I know I'm skipping an R. Recognize, refuse, that's it. Push that thought away. Then relax, then reframe, and then we resume, right? We flow onward. We've got 1 more minute recovery. Amazing job, guys. So watching what starts to creep in, you know, maybe you're in a positive headspace. Yay, 2 done, 2 to go. Or maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's 2 more to go, right? So that, oh my gosh, I can't believe there's 2 more to go. That's that rock. So wear away at it by being a strong, soft force like water. Flow through that even before we start the interval, and then get ready to settle into it. We've got 30 seconds, guys. Second half of class ahead of us. What do you have to do to make it stronger? By stronger, we mean softer than the first. What can you let go of in order to hold on to these paces ahead of you just for 2 more intervals, right? Let's get ready in 10 seconds. Just going back to that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Every minute is 1 minute closer to the imaginary finish line. All right, so just take it 1 minute at a time. What can you do every minute to let go a little more, to soften a little bit more? Again, not softening as in collapsing, strong, still a force to be reckoned with, but also a relaxed and soft one, because our purpose here is to endure, right? We're not rushing through. We're finding that fast, strong pace and softening so as to endure it. Incredible job, you guys. So going back to those 5 R's we just talked about, counteracting negative thoughts, that recognize, refuse, relax, reframe, resume, and why we want to do this, right? Let's connect that back to our water analogy, right? If water is magic and we are 90% water, maybe you guys have heard me talk about this before, maybe you've actually read the study talking about the power of positive speech and positive thought on water, where the scientists held out 2 different glasses of water and labeled one of them with bad words like ugly, weak, any words like that, and other water with words like strong, powerful, beautiful, happy. So these words applied to a glass of water formed beautiful crystal molecules, and the ugly and sad words formed some distorted ones, right? So again, going back to that, we are 90% water. We need to fill our vessels with positive words, right? Dina Castor writes about that in her book. Even the difference between don't stop and keep going, even though they're saying the same thing, don't and stop are 2 negative words, whereas keep going are 2 positive ones, right? Think about yourself at that 8 out of 10 perceived exertion. Your body might not be distinguishing the difference between don't stop or making that one full sentence. It might just hear don't and stop. So without further ado, I'm going to stop throwing those 2 bad words at you, and I'm just going to say keep going, all right? So strong, guys. Keep going. Hold strong. All the positive words that allow you to soften, that allow you to smile, right? Letting go of the rigidity in your mind just as you let go of the rigidity in your body and flowing into it. If you've let go of that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion, find it again, right? Again, a force to be reckoned with. That's you right here today. So good, you guys. In 20 seconds, we are going for our pickup. 3 minutes at an 8 out of 10, all right? So let go. Create space before the pickup and then look to pick up the pace to fill that space. Let's get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 3 minutes, 8 out of 10 perceived exertion. The second to last pickup of class. Next time you see this 8 out of 10 perceived exertion, it's going to be the final pickup of class. So those thoughts, right? Things like that that make you smile, that make you have a little sigh of relief. Let's look for those sighs of relief amidst these harder efforts, right? What is a sigh of relief but an exhale? And when you focus on that exhale, that's where the inhale comes. Incredible work, guys. So what is something that makes you exhale, right? Maybe any thought of class being over soon, of what's going on today, beautiful sunrise, little puppy, anything like that that puts a smile on your face, relaxing your face, happy thoughts through your mind, visualizing those beautiful water crystal molecules forming and flowing throughout you. Amazing work. 2 more minutes here, right? Fast can be beautiful. These hard efforts can be beautiful. Just soften and settle in. We start to visualize the blood, again, that life source filled with water flowing through your body. Visualizing the number of capillaries that circulate it there increasing in number the longer you hang out at this intensity. And visualizing the body's mitochondria, your mechanisms for converting food into fuel, visualizing those growing in size and number the more you hang out here, which is only 1 minute and 20 seconds more. So good, you guys. Again, just holding that 8 out of 10 perceived exertion, flowing, yielding, softening into it. What can I let go of in order to make this 8 out of 10 perceived exertion feel a little more endurable? Can I soften in my shoulders? Can I open in my heart? Can I feel those muscles between my ribs soften? Reminding myself to stay strong in the core, strong in the glutes, but everything else is open and flowing, right? Back to those legs, especially now as you might feel fatigued. We've got just 40 seconds, guys, and then we're backing it off for 2 minutes at that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion. So as you start to feel fatigued, your legs start to feel heavy, visualize that fluidity there, right? What if you could send some extra water there to wash away the fluidity, to dissolve it, and let's convert it into fuel. Visualize it as whatever fuel you want it to be. Maybe even give that water you're sending there your favorite color. Let that fatigue wash away and just commit to the pace ahead of you. We're going to back it off to a 6 out of 10 perceived exertion in 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 2 minutes here, then a 2-minute recovery, and then we go into our final interval. Amazing job, guys. Yield, soften, flow. Amazing work. Keep going. You've got this. You're strong. You're powerful. Nothing can stop you, right? Any of those rocks that pop up, we just crash into them, soften through them, and flow beyond them. Nothing is stopping you. Incredible. A minute and 15 seconds more. Maybe that breath that was rushing before, that 8 out of 10 perceived exertion. What does it feel like now, settling back to that 6 out of 10? So good, guys. Less than a minute to go. Settling in. Feet flying. Focus forward. Long through that spine, strong through that core, open everywhere else. Neck is long. Watch that the jaw and neck aren't jutting forward. We've got just 30 seconds, 2 minutes recovery, and then our final interval. Amazing work today, guys. 15 seconds. Keep flowing, keep softening. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, recover. 2 minutes recovery. Then we're going for interval number 2. Interval last one. After that was the second to last one. Yeah, surprise, you've got 3 more after this. Just kidding. Good job, guys. 90 seconds more. Again, get whatever you need water-wise. Take as much of a break as you need. You can back it off entirely, walk it out, jog it out. Maybe you do a little of both. Maybe you stop to get your water, transition into a walk, and then back to a 2 out of 10 conversational pace jog. So humid today. All right. Yup. So that's something too, right? Recognizing the humidity is going to impact your paces, which is why I love coaching rate of perceived exertion versus humidity, or versus, I'm looking at the word humidity, versus pace necessarily, right? So maybe you are someone who runs an 8 out of 10 perceived exertion and you're usually hitting an 8-minute mile, but today you're struggling to hit an 8:30. Totally acceptable, right? That's that humidity. So it doesn't mean you're not getting the same exact workout that you would be running faster in nicer weather conditions. You know, I'm hopeful that maybe Brooksy by September will not be humid, but it's also possible it will be, and we'll adjust our expectations as we need to. So again, that humidity, another rock, right? So what can we do to soften into that? What can we do to flow beyond that? Just looking for that effort, looking to keep moving forward through it. Incredible job, guys. And also making sure to hydrate because it is hot, it is humid. So these are still important too. All right, final interval. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. 6 out of 10 perceived exertion. Every minute closer to the finish line. All you need to do is take it 1 minute at a time. Relax, let go, flow. Strong where you need to be. Strong in that core, Strong in here, all the way zipped up from that pelvic floor through the core, imagining abdominal muscles going together like either side of a coat, and then opening through the heart and chest, right? Creating space for that blood, that water, that oxygen to flow through you. Looking for that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion, whatever pace that is to you today, accepting that it's going to be somewhere around half marathon race effort, but maybe not your usual half marathon pace given the hot conditions, all right? They say humidity is the poor man's altitude, right? So our dream for Brooksy would be we train through all these workouts in these really humid conditions, and then the day of the race, we just have a beautiful 40, 50 degree morning, and we go out and our bodies are like, oh my gosh, this is so much easier, and we just crush it. All right, so that's our dream. That's what we're gonna look forward to, maybe daydream about in this interval, right? huge encourager of daydreaming while you run. I prefer it to music. So please let your mind wander into anything that serves you. Just watch it wandering to anywhere where it becomes something rigid, it becomes anxiety, it becomes boredom, it becomes I don't want to be here anymore. Let go of all of that. Keep the daydreams positive. Otherwise, return back to the mantras, right? Water, fast, soft, strong, flowing. Keep going. Incredible. So good, you guys. Just holding that 6 out of 10 perceived exertion. So good. Keep flowing. What is soft is strong. So you are strong. Soften into whatever comes across as an obstacle, right? Whether it's a negative thought, fatigue, any of that, just soften into it. Flow through it. Let go. Keep going. Maybe you just had a moment a couple minutes ago where it was really hard to soften through and you became rigid instead. Let that go. Don't beat yourself up. That's another rock in itself, right? The ruminating can become a rock in itself. So maybe one of your intervals wasn't super strong. Maybe you're bummed out about some of the paces. Let all that go. Again, soften, moving forward. Every minute is a new minute. Hold here, just 1 minute at a time, guys. In 2 minutes, we're going for our final pickup, and that's going to be the final bout of effort this class, okay? So we're so close to done. You guys are doing incredible. Really just crushed this class today. So good. You get to go on with your week. Monday morning run is done. Into the week we go. It's a great feeling. So looking forward to that. And then settling in, softening through. Whatever is fluid, soft, and yielding will overcome whatever is rigid and hard. What is soft is strong. So good, you guys. Just 1 more minute at this 6 out of 10 perceived exertion, and then we're going to pick it up for our final 3 minutes at an 8 out of 10. Incredible. You guys are doing amazing. Hold strong. So much a class behind you. You don't have to look behind you, but maybe feel inspired by that river you left below your feet, all that distance you've covered. This is your finish line stretch here. So good. "30 more seconds and we're gonna pick it up, all right? So going into our final 3-minute stretch of the race in 30 seconds. Again, saying final 3 minutes, we're gonna keep that 8 out of 10 perceived exertion, saving the crazy fast workouts for Wednesday, just holding these effort paces, or these efforts prescribed. Amazing job, guys. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's pick it up. 3 minutes, 8 out of 10 perceived exertion. So put yourself in the final 3 minutes of this race. Again, the only difference here is I'm not going to ask you to go to that 9, 10 out of 10 I might have you go to at the end of the race, right? But just imagine yourself. Let's say right now you're in third place of this imaginary race, and see that second place person in front of you. They're about 20 seconds away right now. All you need to do is hold on to this effort right here. That second place person is fading. They're drifting back to you. So maybe see them as an obstacle, them as a rock, and all you need to do is continue to soften into this pace right here. You're pulling up beside them, right at their heels. Now maintain this pace and feel yourself drifting past them, leaving you behind like a rock in a river as you go forward. Flow forward. Amazing job, guys. Just 2 more minutes to go. You're in second place now, all right? So maybe see that first place person. They're about 50 seconds away, all right? So it maybe seems a little bit far, but why don't you notice that the more that you're softening, the closer they're getting. They're fading. You're flowing. So continue to flow towards them just by maintaining this 8 out of 10 perceived exertion, relaxing into it. Fast feet, committing to that cadence. As your legs start to feel heavy, maybe go back to that bird on water metaphor, that visualization. Legs flowing, popping off the water before gravity gives a second to pull, gets a chance to pull them under. So good. Look at this. You've already gained all that ground on that first place person. You're right at their heels, flowing past them here. Final minute. Maintain that lead, guys. So feel yourself flowing faster. All you have to do is maintain that 8 out of 10 perceived exertion. Maybe 8 out of 10 does start to feel a little bit faster, knowing that you're in the 45-second finish line stretch of this race. So open up, let go, feel those feet fly, cast that gaze forward, see that finish line. It's 35 seconds away. Maintaining this effort, opening up. You don't need to look behind you or beside you. You've gained so much ground on that person behind you. You're winning this race. Relax into it. You've got this, guys. 20 seconds to go. Hold strong. See that finish line. Get ready to flow across it and then settle into your day. 10 seconds. What is soft is strong. Fly forward. Flow forward. 3, 2, 1. Break the tape. Amazing job, guys. Not an easy workout, but you guys absolutely crushed it. Thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for starting your Monday, your week with me. By all means, message me with any questions. I know I have some training plans coming for a few of you this week with Brooksy, so exciting stuff. Reminder that Wednesday I am here. I'll be at the track, 6 a.m. Walden Middle School. I'll be on here virtually at 7:30 a.m. And yeah, that's it. And then Friday we'll have our 6 a.m. class. I know, Eric, that was a tough one. Incredible, guys. Way to combat that humidity. Way to soften through all the intense efforts. Thanks for being here. And I will see most of you on Wednesday. Enjoy your week, guys. Bye.